To Lord Sri Ramanuj. I want to pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I want to pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I want to welcome all of you to our Tuesday satsang at the Kampara Conference Center in Durban, South Africa. I want to welcome those of you that are watching this discourse on live feed, locally, nationally, and internationally. We are still pursuing or continuing our discourses on Lord Narayan as the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the Vedic Injunctions. And I've stated previously that when I wanted details on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sriman Narayan, I could not find a book in any bookstore. I couldn't find him comprehensively in the Bhagavad Gita. I couldn't find him comprehensively in the Srimad Bhagavatam. I had no access to the Upanishads, and I was very, very disappointed that I could not find this information adequately even on the internet. And it is for this reason that I am doing this series of discourses wherein I'm explaining both to South Africans and the world at large, as per Vedic injunction, who is the first candle. I'm explaining who is the first candle. So Lord Narayan is the original, primeval, supreme Lord of the universe. His plenary portions are Ram and Shri Krishna. And I want to explain this in a very simple manner. If you light one candle and then you take two other candles and light it from that one candle, all three candles will have the same power when you measure the strength of the candle. So, in determining the potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sriman Narayan, or Lord Sri Ram, or Lord Sri Krishna, or Lord Sri Narayan, their potencies are equal, for they are full incarnations. But if you want to know which is the first candle, then before any emanations, the first candle is Lord Sriman Narayan. Narayan means the source and goal of all living entities. Lord Narayan in the Absolute is called Narayan. In his immanent form, when he appears as the super soul in the individuals or all living entities, then he is called Vasudeva. And when he pervades the individual souls and each atomic particle in the universe, in his all provision, he is called Vishnu. So Lord Narayan, in his original form, before creation, is called Lord Narayan. In his immanent form, when he appears as a super soul, he is called Lord Vasudeva. And when he pervades both the living entities and material nature, he is called Lord Vishnu. Krishna means all attractive, and Ram means the source of all pleasure. So the definition or the meaning in the name Narayan itself shows that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just in his name. In pursuance of this discussion, we need to know who is going to perceive this knowledge, who gives this knowledge, how this knowledge is sourced, and how it is perceived by the various categories of perceivers. In this material world, inherent in its vibrations are three modes of material nature. Tamasic mode, which impels your mind into ignorance. The Rajasic mode, which impels your mind into activity and selfishness, and the Sattvic mode, which impels your mind into knowledge and purity. And the giver of this knowledge is ordained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, called the Guru. And this Guru must be affiliated to one of four institutions. And the name of the four institutions, as per the Padma Purana, are as follows: the Sri Sampradaya, the Brahma Sampradaya, the Kumara Sampradaya, and the Rudra Sampradaya. In all of these four Sampradayas, Lord Narayan is declared as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A Guru must emanate from one of these four Sampradayas. If a Guru does not belong to one of these four Sampradayas, then he is not a guru. Because guru stands for GU stands for darkness and RU stands for light. Guru stands for from darkness to light. Gurus that are teaching you mantras and yogas, exercises, feel good gurus, they are not bringing you from darkness to light. They are keeping you in darkness. They are not bringing you from darkness to light. If a guru cannot tangibly make you know the Supreme Personality of Godhead and make you know yourself, then that is not a guru. If a guru cannot explain the Vedic injunctions through his realizations, then he is not a guru. A guru must be a Vaishnavite because the light is Vaishnavism. The light is Vaishnavism. If the guru cannot provide the light of Vaishnavism, then he is not a guru. So the guru must be inherently linked to a system that can determine him as bona fide. And it is only a sadhu or sastra that can determine whether a guru is bona fide or not. Only a sadhu, a guru from the sampradaya, prominent gurus from the sampradaya in which he took his initiation and Vedic injunctions and declared him a bona fide spiritual master, can confirm him as a bona fide spiritual master, not his devotees, not any ordinary human being associated with him, not devotees who have left, and not even devotees who are current. The amount of devotees cannot determine the quality of the guru. A guru can only be determined as per Vedic injunctions and a guru or gurus in that institution in which the guru took his initiation. And this has been a problem since time immemorial. Wherever God is promoted in any part of the world, whenever somebody, a guru, takes his birth, he takes his initiation, and he starts promoting the pure Vedas, then together with him 1,000 demons take birth. And these demons give the guru his reality. And I've explained previously that every time somebody attacks you negatively, and if you are a divine person, then that negative attack is converted into a positive attack, and you are elevated to a higher status spiritually. So these demons are absolutely necessary to do the dirty work of the divine. They do the dirty work of the divine, and the divine simply stands on their head and gets elevated to a higher status. And I'm going to explain to you how this is possible. So you get three types of devotees. Tamasic means total ignorance. And from total ignorance, a devotee is now somehow connected either to a temple or to an ashram. And this devotee is called a neophyte devotee. What does neophyte mean? A beginner devotee. He comes from the mode of tamas. He comes from the mode of tamas. He comes from the mode of ignorance, and mixed with rajas activity, he starts coming to satsang and he starts to learn about God. But because he is coming from tamas, his prevailing character will be arrogance. So he will enter the spiritual field with anger, arrogance, hatred, jealousy, and pride. He will grasp one or two concepts of religion, and he will want everyone else to follow that what he has picked up from wherever he has picked up. And he'll want now to dictate this tamasic information that he has with him. And when he sees other devotees in rajas, these devotees in rajas will come to satsang. They will open their ears and they will take in as much as possible, and they will go back home for this satsang to benefit their family, their wife, their children only. And then you get the third type of devotees that will come in Satagun. They will put their shoulder to the organization and they will assist in making sure that others can benefit. Then I'm going to qualify as follows three types of devotees. The first type of devotees are a nuisance in society. They are a nuisance to themselves. They are a nuisance in the family, and they are a nuisance in these committees and temples that they run. These devotees do not know what an ashram is. They do not know who a guru is. They have total disrespect and disdain for the guru system. They pick one deity and they believe that the deity that they picked is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They will not conform to scriptures. They will find priests and pandits who are as filthy-minded as themselves, and they will form association with priests and pandits to promote anti-Sanatana Dharma in and around the world. And they are called Kanistha Adhikaris. They are called Kanistha Adhikaris. They just above filth, because they have learned something from somewhere. They picked up some tradition from somewhere, and they now pushing forward this tradition. These types of gurus, these types of Kanistha Adhikaris, it is unfortunate a Vaishnavite guru dedicates his life to pick up fallen souls. He does not judge in which category these souls belong to, whether you are in tamas, whether you are in rajas, or whether you are in sattva. The guru only sees the soul. He does not see your quality. So he allows anyone to attend his satsang. But 99.9% of the time, these Kanistha Adhikaris are the ones that will come to the satsang. They'll take the most, and they will cause a disturbance in the satsang. They will disrespect the guru because their minds are so filthy that it cannot accept purity, because the guru is always in a state of Suda Sattva. The bona fide Vaishnavite guru is always in a state of Suda Sattva. They will project. If the glasses that you wear is thrown in mud and you put the glasses on and look at that guru, how will you see the guru? Muddy. You will see the guru muddy. And these Kanistha Adhikaris, because they live in mud, they live in filth, then when they look at the guru, they look through their own filth. And through their own filth, they perceive the guru to be as filthy as them. So, our satsang is a microcosm of the universe, because Sattvagun, Rajogun, and Tamogun pervades the entire universe, not only India. It pervades the entire universe. It pervades all human throughout the universe. And those that attend my satsang cannot escape its pervasion. But I have gathered in the past few years that it is these Kanistha Adhikaris, 99.9% of them cannot be transformed. And they fall in the same category. They are either drinkers, drug addicts, rogues, illegitimate business, dealing in illegal commodities. These are people that try and form and run institutions, unfortunately, in our Sanatana Dharma. Animal sacrifice is not allowed in Sanatana Dharma. Eating meat is not allowed in Sanatana Dharma. And after a devotee has spent a year with me, then through a process I start informing the devotee what are the requirements of Sanatana Dharma. And the devotee who has become a devotee will start slowly conforming to the prohibitions of Sanatana Dharma. Some devotees are here for 2 years, 3 years, 1 year. Some gave up meat in 2 weeks, didn't it? 2 weeks. It just depends. The Guru does not force you. But the Guru must give you this information. When you give this information, those whose mind is in Sattvagun will accept this information fully. They might not comply with it fully, but they will accept the information fully. Those on Rajagun will accept the information that suits them. And those in Tamogun, or the Kanistha Adhikaris, they will reject this information. They will reject this information in its totality. And in their arrogance and the despicable lifestyle that they are leading, they will take on or try to take on the Vaishnavites and the Vaishnavite gurus. Unfortunately, these people are holding high positions in various temple societies, not only in South Africa, but around the world. So the job of a Vaishnavite guru is not easy, because in order to extricate your soul from your filth that surrounds it, the Guru has to inform you that you are surrounded in filth. We need to purify this filth that is called your body, and at death we want the soul not to attain another filthy body, but go home, go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when a guru tells you this, the Kanistha Adhikari will get very, very upset. And they will start causing a disturbance in the guru's life. And these Kanistha Adhikaris are dime a dozen. Filth is everywhere, look around. So you'll get these Kanistha Adhikaris everywhere. You chop the head of one Kanistha Adhikari, 10 other Kanistha Adhikaris wake up. And this has been happening since time immemorial. So these people, these filthy people, through their filthy eyes, will see a pure guru as filth. And I'm going to show you, as per Vedic injunctions, how this is possible. Okay? So Lord Sri Krishna did not miss these Kanistha Adhikaris when he was on earth. Alright? And he made sure he include them in his 700 verses of the Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 14, text 8. Know that tamas is born of false knowledge and deludes all embodied selves. It binds, O Arjuna, with negligence, indolence, and sleep. So Kanistha Adhikaris take their birth in false knowledge. They are born in false knowledge. They are very big temple chair people. They proudly call themselves presidents, thinking that president of a temple, you're the president of a country. These deluded, demonic idiots who has caused more harm in Sanatana Dharma just by being associated with Sanatana Dharma. They cause disturbance in every temple they go to. These Kanistha Adhikaris are religious prostitutes. They take the wares from temple to temple. They gossip in temples. They try to remove order. They cannot understand discipline. They have no respect for order. They have no respect for their wives. They have no respect for their children. They have no respect for protocols. These Kanistha Adhikaris go into temples and they cause chaos. And they are born of tamas. They are born from ignorance. They have no knowledge. If you call these Kanistha Adhikaris and if you ask them if they heard of the Bhagavad Gita, or if they opened the Bhagavad Gita, or if they read a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, they are huge temple people, prominent temple people, but they have no followers. They have no followers. You have heard of rent a crowd? So these people rent followers through inducement. Gurus do not rent followers. When you attend the satsang of a guru, you have a right to leave at any time. The guru continues to tell you the truth. And if you do not like what the guru said, you can leave anytime. Gurus can influence this entire universe by sitting in one place. These Kanistha Adhikaris cannot even influence themselves, let alone try and build a society. These are the enemies of Lord Sriman Narayan. These demons, these Kanistha Adhikaris, they take their birth to bring Sanatana Dharma down. They will tell you they are members of Sanatana Dharma. They don't even know what Sanatana means. They don't even know what Dharma means. A guru teaches through scripture to his disciples and aspirants all that needs to be known. And it is unfortunate that we do not have a uniform governing principles so that we can banish these Kanistha Adhikaris and let Sanatana Dharma flourish. With that, my topic for discussion is Lord Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead as per Vedic Injunctions. So I'm going to give you a little story. When Lord Shri Krishna was present on earth and Lord Arjuna was present on earth. Over 5 years ago, Lord Narayan incarnated as Lord Shri Krishna and Narayan incarnated as Arjuna. So one day, Arjuna heard a Brahmin lamenting. What does lamenting mean? Crying. And he asked the Brahmin, why are you crying? And the Brahmin informed him that my wife gave birth 9 times and all my children are dead. And Arjuna promised him that the next child that he will get will be protected by Arjuna himself. And the Brahmin said, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha failed to save this child. How could Arjuna save this child? And Arjuna again vowed that he will save this child. The wife gave birth again, and this child again And the vow that Arjuna took, that if he cannot protect this child, then he will end his own life. So, this is the background to the story I'm giving you, because there is a confusion as to whether Lord Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether Vasudeva is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether Lord Ram is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I decided to take an extract from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, translated by Swami Prabhupada. And let's see who Lord Sri Krishna says, who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. You cannot get any closer than one of the incarnations itself stating who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is. Isn't it? Ravi? Can you get closer and more authentic in knowing who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is than asking one of the incarnations of God? If one of the incarnations of God tells you who the Supreme Personality of Godhead is, can there be any debate? Can any human discredit Lord Sri Krishna? Can any guru discredit Lord Sri Krishna? Can any human institution on this earth can discredit what Lord Sri Krishna has said? Because Lord Sri Krishna is the plenary portion of Lord Narayan. And in his form as Lord Sri Krishna, if he is declaring that Lord Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, our human minds cannot conceive what God can conceive. Then we'll be taking God on himself. Okay? So I'm going to read to you from Canto 10, Part 4. So this is Canto 10, Chapter 89, Text 44. The translation of this text: not seeing the Brahmana's child there, Arjuna went to the cities of Agni, Nirti, Soma, Vayu, and Varuna. With weapons at the ready, he searched through all the domains of the universe, from the bottom of the subterranean region to the roof of heaven. Finally, not having found Brahmana's son anywhere, Arjuna decided to enter the sacred fire, having failed to keep his promise. But just as he was about to do so, Lord Sri Krishna stopped him and spoke the following words. Lord Sri Krishna said, I will show you the Brahmana's son. Please don't despise yourself like these. These same men who now criticize us will soon establish our spotless fame. Having thus advised Arjuna, Lord Sri Krishna had Arjuna join him on his divine chariot, and together they set off towards the west. The Lord's chariot passed over the 7 islands of the middle universe, each with its ocean and its 7 principal mountains. Then it crossed the Loka boundary and entered the vast region of total darkness. In that darkness, the chariot's horses, Saidya, Sugriva, Megapuspa, and Balahaka lost their way. Seeing them in this condition, O best of the Bharatas, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Master of all masters of yoga, sent his Sudarshan disc before the chariot. That disc shone like 1,000 suns. The Lord's Sudarshan disc penetrated the darkness with its blazing effulgence. Racing forward with the speed of the mind, it cut through the fearsome dense oblivion from the primeval matter as an arrow shot from Lord Rama's bow cuts through his enemy's army. Following the Sudarshan disc, the chariot went beyond the darkness and reached the endless spiritual light of the all-pervasive Brahma Jyoti. As Arjuna beheld this glaring effulgence, his eyes hurt and so he shut them. From that region they entered a body of water resplendent with huge waves being churned by a mighty wind. Within that ocean, Arjuna saw an amazing palace, more radiant than anything he had ever seen before. Its beauty was enhanced by thousands of ornamental pillars bedecked with brilliant gems. In that palace was the huge, awe-inspiring serpent Anantasesa. He shone brilliantly with the radiance emanating from the gems of his thousands of hoods and reflecting from twice as many fearsome eyes. He resembled white Mount Kailasa, and his necks and tongues were dark blue. Arjuna then saw the omnipresent and omnipotent Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Vishnu, sitting at ease on the serpent bed. His bluish complexion was the color of dense rain cloud. He wore a beautiful yellow garment. His face looked charming. His broad eyes were most attractive, and he had 8 long, handsome arms. His profuse locks of hair were bathed on all sides in the brilliance reflected from the clusters of precious jewels decorating his crown and earrings. He wore the Kaustuba gem, the mark of Srivatsa, and a garland of forest flowers. Serving that topmost of all lords were his personal attendants, headed by Sunanda and Nanda. His chakra and other weapons in the personified forms, his consort potencies Pusti, Shri, Kirti, and Aja, and all his various mystic powers. Lord Sri Krishna paid homage in this boundless form, and Arjuna, astonished at the sight of Lord Mahavishnu, bowed down as well. Lord Sri Krishna paid homage to himself in this boundless form, and Arjuna, astonished at the sight of Lord Vishnu, bowed down as well. Then, as the two of them stood before him with joined palms, the Almighty Mahavishnu, Supreme Master of all rulers of the universe, smiled and spoke to them in a voice of solemn authority. Lord Vishnu said, I brought the Brahmana sons here because I wanted to see the two of you, my expansions, who have descended to the earth to save the principles of religion. As soon as you finish killing the demons who burden the earth, quickly come back here to me. Okay? I want to read this again. Lord Mahavishnu said, I brought the Brahmana sons here because I wanted to see the two of you, my expansions, who have descended to the earth to save the principles of religion. As soon as you finish killing the demons who burden the earth, quickly come back to me. He continues, although all your desires are completely fulfilled, O best of exalted personalities, for the benefits of the people in general, you should continue to exemplify religious behavior as the sages Nara and Narayan. I'm going to read it again. This is Lord Narayan speaking, and he says, although all your desires are completely fulfilled, O best of exalted personalities, for the benefit of people in general, you should continue to exemplify religious behavior as the sages Nara and thus instructed by the Supreme Lord of the topmost planet, Krishna and Arjuna assented by chanting Om, and then they bowed down to the Almighty Lord Mahavishnu. Taking the Brahmana sons with them, they returned with great delight to Dwarka by the same path along which they had come. There they presented the Brahmana with the sons who were in the same infant bodies in which they have been lost. Okay? So I'm going to stop there. And I've read you passages from Srimad Bhagavatam, which states without a shadow of a doubt that Lord Sriman Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Lord Sri Krishna went up to Vaikuntha. He visited Lord Narayan, and the protocol was that him and Arjuna bowed down to Lord Narayan. Lord Narayan informed them that they should continue on earth the job that they were doing as Nara and Narayan, which means that Lord Sri Krishna and Arjuna are expansions of Lord Narayan and Nara. This is a Vedic injunction. It's not because I am emotional about Lord Narayan that I have stated my God is higher than your God. God is saying who He is, and the Guru is merely explaining to you that Lord Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full stop. For Guru has only spoken what God has spoken. Are there any questions? Who's live? Are there any questions on live? Okay. Jai Sriman Narayan. There is a live cut.